asked to do a setup video on my Hobe Revolution 13 kayak. This is one of my favourite kayaks that I've had. As I've mentioned before, I owned at one time a PA14, an Outback and a Revo 13 all at the same time. And I still tended to use this one the most out of all of them. So I'm going to go through from the front to the back and just show you how I'll do a typical setup of a day on the water. Thanks. Right, so starting at the front, I've got one of the Burley Bro Bumper Bro front protectors. It's got a bit of paracord there, and yeah, I've spoken before about my anchor trolley, which just comes off really easy. I just unclick both sides, that'll come off. In here I've got just a normal Hobe bucket. I got one of these clips here from Bunnings, and this is what I replaced. It's just like one of these, I don't know what you call these little button things. I replaced it there, it goes on exactly the same, and it's got some decent bungee on that as well. So that's how I just clip down to my Mirage drive. So I've got the 180 Mirage drive 180 there with the kick-up fins for this. Brilliant Mirage drive. I've got the rubber matting here, and you see on the Revo here that there's actually they're quite recessed, so there's quite a bit of storage in there for like my prop pliers and scissors on both sides there. Here these were Yak Attack G90 track mounts, I believe, with the Yak Attack Amiga Pro rod holders. Now these are brilliant, I love these things. So easy to spin around and move around, and you've got a rod in there, they don't twist like some of the others. I might do a review or comparison, because I've got those Railblazer ones as well, which are so popular, but I absolutely love these ones here. So I've got the Garmin CV5 in there. That's been working really well. I'm really happy with that as well. That's been great. And also I've got here Hobe, just a deep bucket in there. So I do actually fit quite a bit in there. I mean, the other kayak I had was the you know, the Outback and the Pro Angler, obviously a heap more storage, but yeah, I've been doing fine with that. I've got the Hobe Ammo kit, which I've used once when I went out to Victor Harbour. I'll show you what that looks like. So I mean, they clip on super easy. Can't be bothered inflating that right now. And they'll just slide in there. You've got your different angles, whether you want it high or low in there. But when I had them on when I went to Victor Harbour, just absolutely rock solid. They were great. So if you ever want to go out like a little bit deeper, or you're worried about a little bit of swell, get yourself some of those. You just drill some holes, and they've got the well nuts in there. A couple of these a bit too long for you to reach your hand, but I've done that there. Around this side, just a normal, nothing special paddle. I've got one of these paddle holders, just Velcro there with the brass, so it doesn't rust. A little clip there. And what I did like about this, how this is sort of in a coil, so just didn't wrap around everything and get in the way. Back here, I've just got the Hobe battery kit. Now on that Garmin, this lasts me all day. I've been out like 7 and 8 hours, and it's still going. That's been great. Here, that's the sailing rudder, bigger rudder, which makes a huge amount of difference. And underneath, I've got the back Burley Pro Bumper Bro stop there. Some other things that I use, I made this setup here just from PVC piping from Bunnings, some joints, some couple of 45-degree joints, and I just slip that in there, and that's sort of like a rod holder setup. And I'll grab a net. I've got to use a few different nets, and tether it just there. I've got some other rods that I'll keep in there. These are great if you catch something and you need to do something a bit of hands-free, and you stick that in there, and you can deal with the fish over here while it's being held. You can also like troll or just soak your bait from those as well. So these are excellent if anyone's thinking about making these. They're pretty easy to do, and they're really handy to have. For a bucket at the back, I just got this from Bunnings. This was a collapsible bucket, and I just put a couple of Tech screws in it, and this fits perfectly underneath the bungee here. So it sits there perfectly, and that won't go anywhere. That's held on all four corners. It was pretty cheap, and that's enough for what I want to carry in there. If I want to carry my anchor and a bit of extra gear. With the bungee here, I got some other extras, and I made it a bit bigger with a knot there, and that's if I want to carry my wheels if I'm not launching, or if I can't drive my car on the beach and I've got to drive this. So I stick that under the bungee, bring this over, that just clips onto that, and that's really stable. That won't go anywhere. So that's pretty much my basic setup. You see the kayak's had a bit of use, but it's still going strong. It's good. And again, why I love the Revo, it's I can go pretty far on it. I can get there fast. It's a lot easier to pedal compared to the other ones. And the main reason why I would take this one the most, because it was just so easy to get from the garage onto the water. If like I compared it to my PA14 or the Outbacks. The Outback's great. I'd probably have another one of those if I had a choice, but even when I did, I still ended up using the Revo more.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning into Moon Outdoors. Today I'm bringing you guys a review of my Hobe Revolution 13. If you have been following my channel, you guys know that I have a few kayak review videos. Besides the kayaks that I have review videos for, I actually demo many more kayaks. Even after demoing so many kayaks, I can surely say Hobe Revolution 13 is my favorite. I think that Revo 13 has the perfect combination of speed, portability, and stability. Let's get into the specs of this kayak. Revo 13 is 13 foot and 6 inches long, 28.5 inches wide, one of the narrowest pedal kayaks out there. It weighs 70.5 pounds without the drive in the seat, and weighs 88 pounds with the drive in the seat, which makes it one of the lightest pedal drive kayak as well. Max weight capacity is 350 pounds, and the seat capacity for the vantage seat is 250 pounds. The hull shape is round with a slight rocker profile. The round hull shape gives you less water resistance and gives you more of secondary stability than the primary stability. Slight rocker profile helps you go over the small waves gracefully, but also long and narrow and pointy bow helps you punch through the waves. And of course, it comes with the famous Mirage drive. Let me explain why Revo 13 has the perfect combination of speed, portability, and stability. Let's cover the speed. Besides the Hobe Adventure Island and Revolution 16, Revo 13 is the most speedy pedal drive kayak out there. So why is the speed so important? I'm not really looking to get from point A to point B faster than other kayakers. Speed ultimately means efficiency, which means it takes less effort to go from point A to point B. Yes, same distance, but with less effort. That translates to covering more water with same effort. When I'm trolling for ocean salmon, I troll at around 2.5 miles per hour and up to 8 hours in a single day. But when I was on Topwater 120 instead of my Revo 13, I could not troll for 8 hours. With Topwater 120, my legs got really tired after 5 hours of trolling at the same speed. If you are young and or have strong legs, you may be able to cover same distance with less efficient kayak. But I'm older and I have chronic knee pain, so I need all the help I can get. In general, I see older kayakers prefer more efficient kayak than the more stable kayak for that matter. Alright, let's cover portability. Since I'm older who has a chronic shoulder, back, and knee issues, portability is very important to me. I car top my kayak 90+% of the times, and Revo 13 weighing 70.5 pounds enables me to lift up the kayak over my shoulder and load it onto top of my car.
Oh, nice man. Good seeing you. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm getting ready to go out. Oh, you just got here a little bit late. Well, I got here.
And I also don't have a garage, so I store my kayak in the back patio, which means I have to carry my kayak sideways through the front door, through the living room, through the dining room, and out to the patio. Any kayak that weighs more than Revo 13, I struggle with it. Like Topwater 120 and Slayer Max that I had for a while, those were really pain in the butt. Lighter kayak really helps me when I'm getting the kayak to and from the water as well. Sometimes I have to wheel my kayak some distance, up and down the steep hill and long soft sandy beach. And each time I'm glad that I have Revo 13. So basically Revo 13 is easier to manage on the land. Let's go over stability. You might ask, how does a 28.5 inch wide pedal drive kayak get stable? This is something you have to get used to if you are coming from wider kayaks with more primary stability, or if you are new to kayaking. There are two types of kayak stability, primary and secondary. The primary stability is the initial steadiness of the kayak on flat water, which you see on most pedal drive kayaks and even the newer, more stable paddle kayaks. The secondary stability is the kayak's ability to stay stable when it's tipped to one side. The secondary stability is actually more useful in rough waters, which I will explain in a bit. The Revo 13 may feel a little tippy at first because it's got rounded hull shape, which does not have the same primary stability as other wider kayaks, especially the kayaks with the pontoon or the flat, boxy hull shape. But Revo 13 has an excellent secondary stability. It is very easy to tilt the Revo to the one side, but it stays very stable as long as you don't tilt your head to the same side. Your head makes you very top heavy. Being able to tilt your kayak to the one side and having an excellent secondary stability is actually more beneficial in rough waters if you know how. So wider with more primary stability kayaks tends to stay flat or parallel to the water. It's great when you're on the flat water. You can stand, cast, fight the fish while standing, and dance around if you want to. But when the wave comes from one side, since the kayak wants to be parallel to the water, your kayak will be at an angle with the wave. And when you have a big enough wave, you'll reach that point of no return and get flipped. When you have tippy kayak, you can tilt your kayak towards the wave and stay more horizontal. Instead of the kayak being in control and taking care of you, you are in control of the situation. So I prefer Revo 13 over wider, commonly labeled as stable kayaks in rough water. And another reason why I like Revo 13 is the paddleability. Most of the pedal drive kayaks does not paddle well. Maybe okay at best, but Revo is an exception. With the long, narrow, rounded hull shape, it could actually paddle this kayak. Revo 13 actually paddles better than most of the newer, stable paddle kayaks. So why do I need a good paddling kayak when you have a pedal drive? Not only it makes surf launch easier by gaining speed quickly and being able to punch through the surf, you don't have to stop fishing when your pedal drive fails. When my buddy Sean's Mirage drive failed on his Pro Angler, I simply gave him my drive and we continued fishing. And sometimes when you simply want to rest your legs or if you want to get some upper body workout in, you can simply paddle at ease. And now let's talk about the negatives of Revo 13. First one is lack of primary stability. Revo 13 is not the kayak where you can stand up and fish, even though I know a couple people who does that. However, Revo 13 is not designed to do that. Second negative, weight capacity. Revo 13 has a max weight capacity of 350 pounds, which does not mean that 350 pound person can be on it. It means 350 pound is the max capacity where the kayak will stay afloat. That's why the max vantage seat capacity is at 250 pounds. Negative number 3, this is the biggest one I think, is the price. Yes, Revo 13 is very pricey kayak, especially when it does not come with all the bells and whistles as other kayaks. On top of that, you have to spend additional $200 to turbo fin upgrade and the large water upgrade. I do actually like how simple Revo 13 is without all the bells and whistles, but I do think that it should cost much less than $2,800. So my conclusion is that the Revo 13 is best kayak for me. I really think that it's got perfect combination of speed, portability, and stability. On top of that, you also get the paddleability. If you do weigh less than 250 pounds and if you do often play in rough waters, I highly recommend Revolution 13. I know so many people who have or had Revo 13 would agree with me. So if you have any questions about Revo 13, please comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more and go outside and enjoy the outdoors.